here for. We are the bridge to communication. In this next show, with the current events that's going on right now, voting and transparency. That's what our next show is about. Voting and transparency. Communication, basically. This voting topic, man, is that people has made it very important on this election that things need to change here in the States. And we ask all the other countries and continents to write us and tell us where y'all are at y'all political standpoints with y'all government, if you can. But here in the States, we are at a point where I'm about tired of seeing all these ads and commercials or all this bad talk. I
just want to reiterate to all the people why the Voting Rights Act of 1965 is so important when you think about wanting to vote, or do you need to vote, or anything. Always remember the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It outlawed the discriminatory voting practices adopted in many southern states after the Civil War, including literacy tests as a prerequisite to voting. This act, to enforce the 15th Amendment to the Constitution, was signed into law 95 years after the amendment was ratified.
Yes, that's why transitional changes, like I was explaining, that's why it touched my heart, because we have been doing some outreach to some candidates and some of their parties will be doing an interview with us on this show. They want to be transparency to the communities or the state that they are running to be empowered.
And remember again, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson. Remember that name. Lyndon B. Johnson aimed to overcome legal barriers at the state and local levels that prevented African Americans from exercising their right to vote as guaranteed under the 15th Amendment to the United States Constitution.
And yes, my people, we sure enough got some people that's out here that has their feelings about voting, and that's what Transitional Changes mission. We sure enough have a open door policy with TC Mission speak@gmail.com. Write your message to us, and soon we have the phone lines up to where y'all can call in and give us y'all thoughts. And the other second part is about the transparency. The transparency is really touched me on why we established Transitional Changes mission back in 2016. I see worldwide it is a communication transparency problem. Minority of it is by miscommunication, and we are the platform for that. So Transitional Changes here in the States has been reaching out to cities. We hear the news. We hear the call out. We are at a standpoint with the civil workers in the community. And for instance, in some communities, the servers, which is the police, it might even be the fire department, is trying to reach out to what I see on the news, like they don't know how to regain the community. We are the forefront for that. We have reached out to some of the departments right now, surveys and questions, because I think I got ideas and I need your help for ideas of how can this reunite. Because at number one, we are losing too many people to violent crimes.
And Americans like to think their government is the gold standard of democracy, but there are some serious problems with the voting system. So we're going to get into that at our next show, topic, voting and transparency, where we'll get deeper into one thing that it is saddening to me, but the United States is one of the lower voter participation rates in the whole developed world. We got to talk about this.
Yes, we got to, man, because I feel like, just to give y'all examples of how I want to be controversial about it, if you take my opinions about things, some things to me is simple. We got 8 years Republican, 8 years Democrat. Each party brings on their own baggage. But it seems like it's systematic, and just like the last election with Hillary, I mean, you got, who are we, the popular vote? Then we got the electronic
vote. Sweden and Germany, they automatically register eligible citizens onto their voting rolls. And over in the United Kingdom and Australia, they actively promote voter registration, But in the United States, signing up to vote is a process, and it might represent the biggest hurdle to voter participation. And in certain parts of America, it's getting worse.
And yes, that's what people are asking for, the transparency of, say, for instance, Ice Cube making a statement saying we demanding something for our vote. I feel him on this. Shout out to you,
and he also said, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. And I feel you on that too, Ice Cube. So we'll definitely get into this topic in detail.
And yes, we are going to touch up on some cities that is attached to the community, because I see it all day in my community. I mean, the seniors won't even call the police now. That's bad. All they do is sit in the house and look out the window. And then you got the server saying, you mean to tell me you ain't seen nothing? It's something wrong in this picture, my people. And yes, it's a lot of things that history of certain communities has lost the trust within their servers, or who they need to come protect them, who they need to come help change their tire, or who needs to protect them from violence that's going on in their neighborhood, or have changed their whole neighborhood to something else that they don't want.
So all of that is, which is to say that being that person on climate, it might be one of the most important things that you can do. So we leave you with these 3 publications to check out on Amazon or Google or whatever your search engine is. The first one is Extreme Weather in the Climate Crisis. The second is How Renewables Work. It's a practical guide to solar, wind, and geothermal. And the third is The Climate Crisis and Your Health. I urge you to read at least one of these 3 books and get a better understanding about our topic tonight, which was the current state of the climate.
Yes, my people, and make sure you tune in and share this awesome show here with all your family and friends. We appreciate that. Give us thumbs up on YouTube and all the outlets that you see us on. Amazon podcast, we got all kinds of podcast platforms that we're on. We show them, give shouts out to our host, Podbean.
So if you enjoyed what you've just heard or would like to hear more, please subscribe to Podbean, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We're everywhere. We're all over the place. We're out there in Russia. We're over there in Australia. We're in India. We're in the United States. We're down there in Jamaica. We're also in Brazil. So please reach out to your bridge. Transitional Changes Mission Incorporated. Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you for listening to my mama and for daddy podcast show.
Booyah!